I'm Sam Wheeler. I'm a junior history and communications major with a minor in anthropology. I'm currently the marketing director at BSG, and I've been working within BSG for the past 3 years. We really want to work on communication, have students understand what their student government is and what they can do for them.
I'm Brian Whipper. I'm a senior majoring in recreation and leisure studies and a minor in coaching. What I'd like to bring to the table with BSG is a great sense of communication and just transparency throughout. Just put the faces on campus and have it very accessible, just like the everyday student.
Hi, my name is Matt Driffo. I'm an English major with broadcast journalism. I'm a senior here. I'm running with my twin brother Shane. I'm running for president. He's running for vice. And we just want to make next year the best year it can be. We've been here for 4 years. We've seen what works and what doesn't work. And we'd like to bring our experience in this area, this community, and all the students in it to the government.
Yeah, my name is Shane, like he introduced me, and I'm an education and history major, and like he said, we've been here for 4 years, and it's really had a great shaping factor on who we are here, and we kind of want to just give back the best we can to Brockport, and we think we can do that and bring new leadership and fresh blood kind of into BSG to reinvigorate a little bit more participation.
I know something we want to do is have a semi-regular meeting where everyone within BSG gets together and sits down. I think that's a major flaw right now is we don't at any point get together unless, marketing and programming executive all go to the board meeting. So I think a great way to do that is for us to all sit together and talk about any issues, concerns. And the board members also have great ideas, as well as marketing, programming have great ideas for the board. And I think working all together is a great idea. I know a lot of the on-campus, off-campus forums haven't been very successful, so maybe working together make those more successful so then students know what's going on in BSG. And I think it's just once you start, everyone can kind of start to understand what BSG is and communicate within it.
We're kind of on the same page here. My personal belief is that, let's say your roommate, you move in with your roommate, you're not the best friends, but you grow to like each other, you grow to work with each other, you find out what works, what doesn't. I think that applies to the entire organization. Just breaking down that barrier of that we're not just working together, we're working together. We're actually flowing. We're getting things done. I think you really need to break down the barrier between people to people. I think it's really important that other people we do a lot of team building activities. You learn to work together, and I think that will just break down the barrier between programming, marketing, and board. So everybody can just get along, play nice, make things happen. I think that's really the problem that I see right now is that, if you see each other in the halls, you might not say hi, you might not wave to each other. I think next year, I think we can really make a better situation. Everybody be friends, and I think it's a lot easier to work once you find that common ground.
Yeah, more along the same as what they're saying. I think good communication starts with civility and respect and kind of ends with being genuine and being honest. And everywhere in between there, just kind of good communication lines. If we do win, he's VP, he'd be chairman of the board, but obviously as twin brothers, our mind is kind of on the same level, so there's not going to be that big of a difference between the executive branch and the legislative branch. We're going to be on pretty much the same page with everybody. Sam has a really good idea, obviously. I would have assumed that the BSG met as a big team once a month already. I just assumed they would have. I didn't think it was that divided as far as a group went. And I hope if we win, there is no divisions in the BSG and everyone can just kind of work together, more synergy and a more complete team effort, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Along similar lines, as chairman of the board, it's really just kind of about understanding everyone's needs and desires. So there's going to be times when someone's pushing for something that someone's not going to like, but as long as we are civil and don't get too hostile, and I think that you can kind of undercut hostility by getting to know them and becoming friendly with everyone on the board, becoming friendly within everyone within BSG, so you are kind of not only it's easy to communicate with them, but they're going to be on good terms with you.
Kill them with kindness. It's been kind of a running joke throughout the debate season that Shane and I want to do an open style government where we invite as many students as they would like to come to a meeting and talk about things like event planning. And obviously we don't know if that would work, but we're not afraid to fail at trying. We're not afraid to try new things. We're not afraid to do things that haven't been done in the past. We'll invite as many students as they want to the Union Ballroom or the indoor track at the Cirque if that's how many students end up wanting to come. But more so, I mean, we don't have any experience with the BSG. We're kind of doing this by the wing. We want to learn to do it, but we want to learn to do it with the students. And we can only do that by being transparent, by being open and being honest. We don't want any more closed-door meetings or any exclusive groups. We want everyone to feel inclusive in the student government, and that includes all the students that are paying for it.
Yeah, along this, I mean, pretty much the same lines. He said something, BSG just ordered ballot boxes or opinion polling, and that was something we talked about earlier on in the debates, and saying that maybe a little bit too much is based on technology, and that we need a little bit more physical polling, because I'm not friends with BSG on Facebook. A lot of my friends don't use Facebook. They're not on Twitter, and really, we need a little bit more physical legwork and a little bit more of our faces. Actually, I think a lot of it with communication can be solved with just us not being so shy, and I think that's the perfect role for me in that to fit.
I think an important thing to remember is no one student is going to have the same preference as another. So not all students will use Facebook, but others will use Twitter. Others will take online surveys that are emailed to them or actually read the campus-wide emails. Or, we've handed out surveys on trips at events. So I think it's just a matter of taking lots of little pieces to make a big piece of what the students want. We've, I think, done a great job over the years of kind of continuing to work at that. We're definitely not there yet. It's really getting what students want and hearing their voices. And we definitely do need to make BSG's office more of an open place where people feel more comfortable coming in. I think a lot of times students stand in the doorway and aren't sure if they're actually welcome in, and that's something that does need to be worked on. It's just taking all those little pieces and making sure that the majority of students are heard through those pieces. And it takes work, and it takes time to put the surveys together with an event that a student made that has 800 followers, or taking people's tweets and combining that with just messages we get through the online chat. So it's a process of taking all the little bits and taking it all and making it into the big picture of what students want.
For the 4 or 5 of you out there that I don't personally know, my life is the most transparent thing I can imagine. If I'm everywhere. I'm always doing something. I really don't ever get a chance to sit down. If I'm not at class, walking through campus, stopping to BSG, I'm at lacrosse, I'm walking my dog through campus, I'm always everywhere. I'm one text message away. I pride myself on always answering my phone, if I'm in class. I'm the easiest, I'll brag. I think I'm the easiest person to communicate with out there. If you need something, call. If you have a question, text me. I'll get back to you. It might not be what you want to hear, but I will answer any question you ever have.
To the timing of when the debates were finalized and spring break, it made it difficult. But I do think it also says something about how students feel about their student government by the fact that it's such low turnout. It's definitely something that needs to be worked on. And this is, BSG does a lot, and it really contributes to what students know about their college and really makes Brockport what it is. So the information's been out there and released, and still it's low turnout. It's definitely something that does need to be worked on.
I think the marketing that I personally did for this was just word of mouth. And we got a couple guys in some beautiful looking glasses here. And I think we can build on that. Literally just told these girls half an hour ago that this is happening. And I think that's what we can do next year is just word of mouth. Hey, this is going on. We got this going on in the Union. We got this going on in the mall outside. I I think the word of mouth getting off Facebook is just the way to do it. Well, Facebook's still great. I mean, you hit up a couple RAs, they tell the residents, and that's what happens. But there's nothing that you can't beat just telling someone, hey, there's free pizza in the Union, right, Chloe? There's free pizza for this, right? So just telling people what's going on. I lost my train of thought.
I think it's really sad that there's such a low turnout, and it points to people don't care about their student government. I mean, 95 or 100% of the people here already have a vote one way or the other, and they're here supporting their friends, which is really sweet of all of you. But you people aren't the ones that are going to dictate this vote. It's the people that aren't here and people that don't care. And that's why we need change, and not sunglasses, so we can get students to care about their student government.
Well, now we have our first start. Well, just kind of like the same idea. I think more so than this turnout, which I think is pretty great. I'm really glad all you guys showed up, and this is our best one yet, and I think it's definitely better than our first one, and the second one's a little bit better, but this is great to see all you guys out here. Yeah, there's microphones for this. Believe me, this is the best one. I really appreciate all you guys coming out, but it is, more than that, I think it's the fact that we have so many representatives running unopposed, and we really only have one example of real democracy going on with this one race right here. But I also, on that note, I also am kind of uplifted because I know that who's going to be on the staff, and if I win, I'm really confident that everyone is kind of on the same wavelength of what direction BSG wants to go, and I'm confident that they can, they and me as well, but I'm confident that everyone can kind of turn that around and has ideas to kind of have a stimulus for support and participation.
Just because I'm kind of a hippie, I would say on-campus investments. I would like to see less 50-inch TVs that just do what a concert poster could do, and maybe a nice bench to read on, or some trees or something. Something that would have a long-lasting effect for the school, not something that's going to burn out in 5 years. I think overall, I think a lot of the on-campus stuff can be improved. We've had people at these debates talk about the canal and leakage in buildings. Obviously, these are pretty severe cases that are going to need a lot of work. But just here and there, I think investing in the campus, because this place, Brockport, is getting really good. It's only going to get better in the next 50 years, and I think the BSG can do a lot to contribute to that.
Yeah, similarly, I think that BSG already does a lot, and there's certain things like today, if anyone noticed, the student social workers organization were outside collecting money for the homeless, and I had a conversation with them about how they kind of wanted to pool together resources with other groups that, like there's a hunger banquet for tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the Cooper trying to raise money for homeless and stuff. And I would kind of like to do more community work and try and organize events where we pool resources and groups, and we have more resources, better ideas, and more organization, and we can have, the hardest thing with everyone is participation. And if you kind of pool together resources, you'll have better advertisement, and you can have really good events, and we can help the community. And because there's actually been a decent amount of people that are interested in that, and it's really kind of nice. We've had a girl asking about the canal, and I hang out by the canal all the time, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll wait till it rises.
To increase participation, what's the question to like expand the role? I think to expand that role of the student government, we're gonna be in your face. We're not gonna invite you on Facebook to 900 different events that they're in this place, all these different places. My vision is to make small little programs, like the little Tim Hortons out in the square, and having can jam set up, and some ladder golf just in the square and stuff like that, and like hot chocolate during the winter on your way to class. And I'd really just like to break it down a little bit more. It's like every day, like, oh, did you get those free water bottles from BSG? Oh no, but I got a couple free pens today. Like, it's just always something is always being done. That's how I kind of like to do it. takes a little bit of work, but it's not like there's no grand, huge plans. They're just little, tiny efforts, like every week, every day. I think that would just, everyone would get something out of BSG that way.
Kind of going off that is BSG really does provide a ton of services for students that they don't necessarily think of. Like the buses that take students back to the New York City area on spring break or Christmas break. Like just small services like that make students' lives easier are so important. But also, like you said, just the small events that you don't really think about. Like on 11/11, we provided like miniature cupcakes and took donations for Make-A-Wish. Thank you. Wasn't so Make-A-Wish. So Make-A-Wish, and like so it's helping the community, but also letting students like determine what they want as well through like Thursdays in the Squares, and or just coming into the office and giving events suggestions. Like someone did bring up 11/11, it's you should do something for that. So just continuing to let students kind of determine what they have and just the small things that you don't really think about but that are there and make your life easier.
I love this question. It's come up all 3 nights, and I'm pretty happy with my next year's schedule. I'm done in the classroom as far as my recognition degree goes. I have to complete a internship next fall and a practicum next spring. But besides that, I'm out of eligibility. I cannot play lacrosse anymore. I have a minimal number of hours I have to do for my job. I have to do like 2 hours a month for my part-time job with Monster. I literally will have nothing but time next year. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
I am too going to have a slightly lighter workload. I'm planning on taking summer classes either way just to lighten it. But also, I've been working in BSG for the past 3 years. I know the time commitment. As of now, I spend 30 to 40 hours just there, just in case students need something. I don't know if anybody stopped in, but I'm generally there. If I could, I probably would just bring my bed in. So I'm ready for that kind of commitment because I'm already making it.
When I worked at the school newspaper for 1.5 years, I had to work like 30-hour work weeks. So I quit that and started working at Brockport this semester. And it's great, but obviously if we get elected, I would leave that job. And I'm only taking 12 credits next semester, and the semester after that will be 12 again, and then I'll be finished up. So basically, this would be it. Other than my 12 hours in the class, my time would be devoted to you guys, which obviously would make me more than happy if you guys actually would come out to the Greek-style democracy debates. We get all the students there, that'd be fun.
Yeah, well, we've been here for 4 years, so everyone's probably like, aren't these guys supposed to be graduating? Well, I'm in the education program, so I'm going to be here another year, but I kind of feel like some of my friends are graduating, and I'm ready to kind of step up my role as a, from a student to more of, just kind of take on a new role, and I only take 12 credits, and I'm going to be fulfilling a 50-hour observation at student teaching, but other than that, I'm going to leave my job at the library, and I'm pretty much going to hang out in the union and do other activities.
I've said a couple times now, I've been working within BSG for 3 years. I also did my history research methods on BSG, so I did it back to its origin and also compared it to other student governments. So I also know other schools as well that will be helpful should we be elected. I also helped with the rewrite of the Constitution. And I've just been around, I know how things work. It doesn't mean I know everything, but it definitely helps that I have that knowledge base to pull from already and hit the ground running.
I've been a little busy lately. Friday practices with lacrosse. I don't make many board meetings. It's unfortunate. I am friends with the current vice president, the question asker, and I was on the board for a brief stint as the off-campus representative. I left due to time conflicts. It was just too much. I couldn't give everybody 100%. But I am familiar with how the board meeting works. Obviously, I'm not perfect with it, but it's something to build on. We have the experience. Right now, we're really just focused on the campaign. Once Tuesday night rolls around, then Wednesday comes. We'll figure out the rest from there.
It's true though, Tuesday does precede Wednesday. I've been going to board meetings pretty regularly this semester. They're not great, they're not a lot of fun to attend, but I've been going to get a feel about everything. Other than that, more along the lines of the things he said, we've been more concerned with campaigning and getting to know students. If elected, I'd probably get in touch with President Perry next Wednesday and try to figure out how when I'd get more acclimated, maybe do a pseudo internship with him for the rest of the semester where I follow him around like a lapdog. I'm sure I could figure it out. I've been more concerned with getting to know students than what I would do if I won. I don't want to jump to conclusions like that.
Yeah, similar. I've been to a few meetings, so I understand my role as kind of facilitator and chairman of the board. Other than that, I've had a chance to speak to various vice presidents over the years. Michelle Paul was the last one, and I kind of asked her what she did and stuff like that. But other than that, I would love the opportunity to kind of come check out what you do. I haven't, if you felt comfortable with that, but I haven't.
Open invitation.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But kind of along the lines of what they said, one step at a time.
Without change, progress is impossible. Things will stay the same, not necessarily if they get elected, because if they do get elected, everything's going to be just fine. These are two very capable people right here, Brian and Sam. Everyone knows that. But what we offer is something that people can't offer. We're willing to fail. We're willing to try things that haven't been done. We're willing to do things that most people would raise an eyebrow at because we'd like to see it tried. We don't want things to just be business as usual. We want it to be a student government that the casual student, maybe someone who's walking by would want to stop, look at it and be like, what the hell's going on? This is kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. I want to get involved somehow. More than anything else, we want to motivate students to care about where their student government money is going. This is their money. We want them to care. We want the students to be passionate about their student government. Because if we're sitting up here as passionate as Da Vinci going over the Mona Lisa, it doesn't really mean anything. Because we're just sitting there being president, vice president. But if we can get a freshman or a sophomore or the random transfer student to be like, this student government is unique. This student government is different. You can really get involved and you can really make a change at any level. Then I think that would be what would make me the happiest. I'm not saying that it wouldn't make them happy, but I know that what we offer is something that's sort of stimulating. It might be kind of risky, but it's sort of stimulating in the same sense that it's nothing that's been done before, We're twin brothers, we're on the same plane. There's no hierarchy in the executive department. We have no experience in the student government. He was president of varsity club our senior year of high school. I was president of our 10th grade class. But since then, we've been kind of doing our own thing with education and English, and now we're ready to give back and try to get Brockport as much as it's given us the last 4 years.
Why you should have our vote is because if you're like me and feel that there is a disillusionment and a detachment and a divide between our student government and our off-campus and our on-campus, and if you believe that we can kind of bring that together by introducing new fun events and new ideas and fresh faces, I think too is a key part of that, and kind of believing that an average person can, step in and actually have their say, and not just someone who's been going down the BSG pipeline for so long, and someone who can, the lay person, the average person. And I feel like we will bring that to our communication with people and represent their values and fight for them the best that we can, because we're from off campus, and we only have one off-campus representative, and we want to bring that feel a little bit. We also want to connect our off-campus with on-campus because we feel like we haven't had as big of an on-campus presence since being off-campus.
Yes.
We really want to continue the growth that BSG makes every year. We're not looking to make drastic changes, but keeping it as it is, but continuing that growth that needs to happen each year. BSG has the potential to do such amazing things for its students, and at the same time it has the chance to fail. I think like continuing to let students, voice their opinions and letting clubs come in and ask for money so that they can move farther than their budgets permit them. I think those are great things that students need and want. Students join clubs so that they can contribute to their campus, and having those Thursdays in the squares I think is something that's really important, and it lets clubs continue to provide to their school even if they don't have a budget. And we're different people. I think that's a great thing about us. We have very different mindsets. We might not agree on everything, and I think that's good. If we did, then we just have the same things happening over and over again, and I think it's great that we're different from each other, and that we can bounce the ideas off each other and kind of come to something that might, reach a broader spectrum of students, which I think is a great quality about the two of us.
All right, for the baker's dozen out there who aren't decided about who to vote for, this is my pitch to you. I don't want change. I want growth. I think it's not broken. If it's not broke, don't fix it. BSG is going in a great direction right now, and I'm really happy with the way it is. And I mean, not too many of you guys can be that unhappy with it. They put on great conscience. They do a lot of great things for a lot of great people, and I want to keep that going. I want to build on it. I was gonna say something else too. I really was. Shoot, that's too bad. I can't remember what I was gonna say.